Good morning, all students of class 5. Today I will take your literature class. We have already completed chapter 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3 all are prose. But today I will discuss to you a poem. Next, the name of the poem is The Violet. What is the name of the poem? The Violet. And who wrote it? This poem was composed by a famous English poet, Jane Taylor. First of all, I tell you something about Jane Taylor. Jane Taylor was a famous English poet. Not only he was a poet, he was also a novelist. And his duration period was 23rd September 1783 to 13 April 1824. That means he was born on 23rd September 1783 and he died on 13 April 1824. That means he was alive 41 years. Within this short period, he wrote many poems, many novels, many stories, etc. etc. Especially, I tell about him that he wrote the words to the song Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. You are well known. This is a well-known child poem. That is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, how I wonder what you are. You know it. That is this. He was not only, he did not write it, but these words, he composed these words, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. That who wrote this poem, it is totally unknown. But he wrote the words of this poem. Okay? Then I will start the poem. The Violet. Violet means a flower, beautiful flower. It is very beautiful because its color is very bright and fair, and it is very beautiful to look at. The poem opens with the verse down in a green and shady bed. That is, now I read the lines of the poem. This is the poem, The Violet. Down in a green and shady bed, a modest violet grew. Its stalk was bent, it hung its head as if to hide from view. That means the speaker spots the modest violet. That is, the modest means humble. That is, it is very humble, it is very beautiful flower. And as if it is modest, as if it is trying to hide with its bent stalk. Its stalk means stem. That is, this is the flower and stem. It bent its stem and head hung low. It looks like its head hung low. There is a rosy bush, and among this bush of rose, and it hung his head, and its stalk, its stem was bent. The speaker feels that with its beauty and charm, it could be a part of a rosy bower flaunting its beauty. Okay? The speaker means the poet feels that with its beauty and charm, it could be a part of a rosy bower flaunting its beauty. Okay? Next stanza. And yet it was a lovely flower, its color bright and fair. Why it is called lovely? Because its color is very bright and fair. It might have graced a rosy bower. Graced means dignified, glorified. It was very glorified with a rosy bower. That is, first of all, I tell you that there is rosy bush. Rosy bower means shady place. Instead of hiding there he was hiding in this rosy bush. He was hiding there, as if it seems that its hide its head hung low. Yet thus it was content to bloom, its modest tints arrayed. Arrayed means arrangement. Dressed, attired. That is, it means that is it arranged, and there diffused a sweet perfume within the silent shade. This shade was very silent, calm and quiet, and it spread out its fragrance, sweet fragrance. The violet had has a very sweet fragrance, sweet smell, and it spread out its smell throughout there. So it they are diffused a sweet perfume. Diffused means arranged, spread out with the silent scent. Then let me to the poet was very much attracted by the beauty of this flower, but he could not see there in the town. He wished to go to his native village, and there if he go there, he can see the flower and he can feel the beauty of its flower. Then let me to the valley go, this pretty flower to see, that I may also learn to grow its sweet humility. Humility means modesty, humbleness. Then the poet wishes to go to his village and see the flower. That means here is a question. I explain you why the violet is called modest. Why the violet is called modest? Because according to a legendary, it was Venus, Greek god, who made violet blue. So it was called modest. It is called the flower of modesty because it hides all its flowers in its heart's shaped leaf. Okay. Next, the poet say that the violet was a lovely flower. Why the violet was called a lovely flower? Because its color bright and fair, and it might have graced a rosy bower instead of hiding there. Okay. And one lines, what is meant in modest tint arrayed. In modest tints arrayed. In the third stanza, there is a line in modest tints arrayed. What is meant by in modest tints arrayed? It means that a color, its sweet color, it means that a color or shade or humbleness is arranged. And one lines that it diffused a sweet perfume. Perfume means fragrance, scent. It spread out its scent throughout there. Throughout all the places it spread out is fragrance. That's all. We mean that the violet is a beautiful flower. It has a sweet fragrance and it looks very beautiful. Its color is very beautiful. It spread its fragrance throughout the area. So and so, as if it looks as if it bent its stalk, and it's hung low. This is the poem. Today I give you some word meanings and some exercises also. Okay. In this poem there is some word meanings. The violet. Word meanings: grace, dignity, glorify. Bower, a pleasant shady place. Okay. Array, dress, attire or arrangement. Diffuse means spread. Or humility means modesty, humbleness. Okay. Modesty, humbleness. And modest means humble. Okay. Modest means humble. Again I repeat: grace. What meaning? Grace, dignity, glorify. Bower, a pleasant shady place. Array, dress, attire or arrangement. Here you say arrangement. Diffuse, spread. Humility, modesty, humbleness. Modest means humble. Okay. Or there is one thing in your exercises, that is what place. There are three, we know, adjective. When I teach you adjectives, then you know it, that there are 3 degrees of adjective: positive, comparative, superlative. Positive means base adjective. Comparative, when 2 things are compared, there is comparative. Main adjective, we add er and we make comparative. And est, we make superlative degree. So positive, comparative, superlative. Some words: sweet, sweeter, sweetest. Sweet, sweeter, given, but sweetest is blank, so you write sweeter. Lovely, blank, blank, blank. Lovely, lovelier, loveliest. Okay. Best, superlative degree given, best. Comparative, good, positive, good, comparative, better. Cold, positive degree दे दिया cold, comparative colder, superlative coldest. 5 number older, comparative degree given, you and superlative degree given, older, oldest, oldest, sorry, old, older, oldest given, you write old. Okay, positive. Pretty given, pretty, you write prettier, prettiest. Again I repeat it again, there are 3 degrees of adjective: positive, comparative, superlative. Some number 1 sweeter given, you write positive and superlative: sweet, sweetest. Lovelier, loveliest, given word lovely, positive, you write lovelier, loveliest. lovely, lovely, iest, loveliest. Best, superlative degree given, so positive good, comparative better. Okay, positive degree cold, you have to write comparative and superlative: cold, colder, coldest. Older, comparative, oldest, given words, you have to write old, positive degree. Pretty, given words, you have to write prettier, prettiest. Okay, worksheet homework, that is, what is your homework? Learn the poem The Violet along with its poet's name. There are 16 lines poems. 16 lines. In this poem there are 16 lines. 4 where? 16 lines. You have to learn this poem with its poet's name. First of all, this is your homework. Secondly, learn word meanings and the grammatical things which have been done in class. This is your homework. Or chapter 3 we have already completed, but there are some worksheet remained. I have given you. I am giving this in your class. That is, make sentences with the following words. That is, take care. Take care. Number 2, look out. Number 3, be careful. Number 4, just then. Number 5, between them. Number 6, look at. Number 7, at all. Number 8, where people. Number 9, merry stories. Number 10, used to. Okay, I repeat it again. Make sentences. Take care. Chapter 3, based on chapter 3. Take care, look out, be careful, just then, between them, look at all, where people, merry stories, used to. You have to write sentences with these phrases, with these words, and you have to learn the poem wholeheartedly, word meanings, and comparative and superlative and positive degree. You have to learn it, and you have to learn your poem. And I hope that you have realized, you have understand the poem. Okay, this is your poem class, first poem class, and I discuss this poem and I give you something. Next day I will start chapter 5. Okay, thank you all of you.